Hello and welcome to today's training session at Best Choice. Today's session will be focused on our business administration learners, and the topic of our session will include the planning, the organisation of project management. Your assessor for this course today is myself, Leanne Peters, and you'll be provided with my contact details at the end of this course. Also, at the end of this course, there will be a video guiding you on how to use OneFile. And also there will be an opportunity for you to provide feedback on today's session. The aims and objectives for today's session include for you to understand how to lead small projects when required, to be able to demonstrate understanding of project management tools and principles, to be able to understand and use action plans, SWOT analysis, and SMART targets, and also to be able to understand how you can set priorities and manage expectations. We will begin by looking at what task management is. So task management refers to the controlling and planning of details. In organisations, planning is a management process concerned with defining goals for the company's future, direction, and determining on the missions and resources to achieve those targets. To meet the goals, managers may develop plans such as a business plan or a marketing plan. Management does require both plans and objectives. This is referenced by Story 1960. So how would you set priorities along with your management targets? What you need to do is determine the values and outcomes that you want your company to achieve and list them clearly. Then you need to craft a vision statement by articulating the central ideas and values that keep your business on track, such as a stellar customer service or a commitment to protecting the environment. Business administration apprenticeships may come from all different backgrounds, for example, organisations within the medical field, a state agency, electrical companies, and solicitors. It is about finding and understanding your organisation's aims, objectives, and future goals. This will be able to help you create an action plan that will help benefit your company. So what is action planning? I have included some action planning resources here for you. Please take some time to look over these resources. So how would you manage expectations? To perform well, employees need to know what is expected of them. The starting point is an up-to-date job description that describes the essential functions, tasks, and responsibilities of the job. When you begin your apprenticeship, you should have already received an up-to-date job description. This also outlines the general area of knowledge skills required of the employee and for an employee to be successful in the job. Performance expectations go beyond the job description. When you think about it, high quality on the job performance, you are really thinking about a range of expected job outcomes, such as what goods and services should the job produce? What impact should the work have on the organisation? How are you expected to act with clients, colleagues, and supervisors? What are the organisational values the employee must demonstrate? And what are the processes, methods, or means the employee is expected to use? Take some time and reflect upon your role and answer these questions. The range of a performance expectation can be broad, but it can generally be broken into two categories. Results. So the goods and the services produced by an employee, often measured by objectives or standards. Or actions and behaviours. This is where the methods and means used to make a product and the behaviours and values demonstrated during the process. Actions and behaviours can be measured through performance dimensions. This might include supervisions, performance meetings, or one-to-one feedback with colleagues. What I'd like you to do is write down the expectations that you would have to manage within your apprenticeship, and then explain how you would manage these expectations. Please create this on a blank Word document and send it to myself once we have finished this session. So what you need to do is write down the expectations that you would have to manage within your apprenticeship. So what is expected from you? What would your colleagues expect you to do? What would your manager expect you to do within your role? And what do clients or patients expect of you as a business apprenticeship? Then what you need to do is explain how you would manage these expectations. How would you manage your manager's expectations? Do you set goals? Do you create an action plan? Do you discuss this and receive feedback from your manager? This is the same from your colleagues. What are their expectations of you? Do they want you to job share? Do you work closely together with them to manage a diary system? Same for your clients and your patients. What do they expect of you? Do they expect good customer service? Do they expect professional emails? Write down these expectations and how you will manage them. Once this is completed, please send this over to me via email. We are now going to be looking at the 5 I's of the employee engagement. The first I is inform. Companies must provide employees with the information they need to understand what is expected of them. This is why we ask for a job description when you start your apprentice. Inspire. As inspired employees take more pride in both their job and their organisation, companies need to make a concerted effort to connect their employees to the organisation's vision and values. Instruct. To help employees successfully deliver on brand promises, companies must support them through training, coaching, and feedback. Involve. Organisations can create tremendous value by working with their employees to design employees' jobs, improve work processes, and solve customer problems. Incent. Employees do what is measured, incented, and celebrated. This means that an organisation needs to have appropriate systems in place to reinforce the behaviour that it wants to see in its employees. So how can you make suggestions for improvement within your business administration role? What you need to do is communicate clear goals and expectations to your employees. The majority of employees want to be a part of a compelling future. They want to know what it is and what is most important at work and what excellence looks like. For targets to be meaningful and effective in motivating employees, they must be tied to a larger organizational ambition. So share information, keep communicating and keep that communication hopeful and truthful. Do not be afraid to share bad news. Instead, be more strategic about how you deliver it. Improve the performance through transparency by sharing numbers with employees, and you can increase employees' sense of ownership. Encourage open communication. Keep open-minded and encourage them to express their ideas and perspectives without criticism. This means putting into practice everything you have learned about effective listening. Address concerns in the best way you can. Culture. Encourage employees to find a personal fit within the company culture and encourage innovation. Engaged employees are innovative. They always look for a better way. What I'd like you to do is create an action plan as part of your module activity. So when you have completed this, submit it to myself. What you need to do is complete a daily action plan, a weekly action plan, and a monthly action plan, and also a yearly goal plan and an aspiration. So what are your daily tasks within your job role? How do you complete these? When you get in to your daily tasks, do you sit down and create an action plan? Do you have set goals that you need to achieve? Has your employer or colleague set you daily targets for you to achieve? For example, calling 7 patients today or taking 6 bookings today. And then you can develop that into your weekly and monthly action plan. Your yearly goal and aspirations can explain what you'd like to do once you've completed your apprenticeship. What would you like to do with the qualification? And also, what other areas would you like to develop personally? Managing a project. So a requirement for your business administration apprenticeship is to manage and complete a project. This project will be focusing on identifying an area to implement a change within your organisation. This change needs to be business administration based. For example, you might have noticed that a filing system isn't meeting the required standards. You might notice that an email being sent out isn't professional enough. You may have already identified different legislations or policies and procedures that you feel could be improved within the business. All of these changes that you might have found, you need to identify them and write them down. What we can do then is move forward and identify which outcome you are going to select for your project. So as I just said, we need to identify a project or an area of research that you would like to carry out within your work setting. So what we need to do is develop your own action plan for the week and then identify your aims and objectives. Identify the priorities and think of a time frame for achieving each task. And how are these monitored for their success? So if you were successful in achieving